No two people are the same. Just as people are different, so are the ways they decide on a career. Today we're going to meet employees from Advanced Food Products, StarDental, the Strasbourg Railroad, and SteelFab Enterprises, each of whom arrived at their career from a different path. You will see how their interests have helped direct them and their choices led them to their current careers. No four-year degree required. Our first stop takes us to the Strasbourg Railroad.
My name is Andrea Biesecker. I am a steam locomotive engineer and a machinist at the Strasbourg Railroad. Graduated high school, had no idea what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. Had to go to college, Mom and Dad said so. So Dad kind of weaseled in with Mom and said, hey, why don't we just let her go to like a 2-year school of some sort to see what she likes, basically. And then I had to pick a 2-year school, and I was like, well, I don't know what I like. So my dad went to Stevens for machine shop, and he said, look, why don't you try machine shop? You're very mechanical, you might really enjoy it, give it a whirl, and if not, it's only 2 years, you can always regroup from there. So went to school for machining, found out I was really good at it, and I really liked it. And then it came time to get like an actual full-time job. So I thought, well, I want a fun job, and what's a fun job? Well, I could work in any old machine shop, but who knows what I'm gonna be making? And then it's like, well, the Strasbourg Railroad's right down the road, and I'll know exactly what I'm making, which is basically building trains, working on locomotives, working on antique passenger cars, which mixes in with my love of history. So there, and here I am. Day-to-day responsibilities. So over the years, they have changed drastically. When I first started working here, my day-to-day routine was I come in and work in the machine shop for half of a day in the morning, and then I would go out and I would work with the public actually with our little steam train we have up on the mall. So it was like, half and half. It was a full-time job, but they didn't have me doing the same thing.
Andrea, right away, really did some wonderful work and immediately became one of the top machinists in our shop.
And then as I learned a little more, then I was full-time machine shop, and then I was in charge of the CNC equipment solely here. And then from there, I've graduated to working in the office, doing the blueprints, getting the jobs, designing the repairs, and now I'm doing, quotes, bidding for machine work and restoration work for everything we do here. So it's been a progression. I'm moving up.
No surprise, she's excelling in that position where she's very well-spoken, very diplomatic, and has a way of interacting very well with our customers and being a very positive face for the railroad.
I didn't. To put it plainly, I did not have no idea that I wanted to come, work for railroad full time, be a machinist with my life. It just started to flow. Like, I got into school and I realized that I am pretty good at this sort of thing. So hey, just roll with it. I was actually the first woman to ever get hired on in any capacity other than the gift shop or the office. So it was intimidating. I'm working with a whole bunch of guys that are way more experienced than I am. They've worked here for basically their entire lives, and they're all pushing retirement now. And here I am, one of the younger folks on the floor, and I'm the only girl. So it's intimidating, but really rewarding, because as I got to work with them and learn from them, they started to really respect me.
And I think she proved herself in very short order with her abilities too. If there was any doubt in anybody's mind, I think she was able to squelch that right away with just exactly what she could do.
They really warmed up to the idea, and a lot of them are my good friends now. I'm gonna say it's awesome, simply because I get to have fun at work, which a lot of people that I meet and that I'm friends with and I know don't have that luxury. Every day I come to work A, I don't know what I'm gonna be doing because there's so many different facets of this place. And B, it's just exciting because, you know, one day I'm gonna be on the steam locomotive, I'm an engineer, I'm blowing the whistle, I'm giving train rides. The next day, I'm gonna be in the shop and we're gonna be doing like a full cosmetic restoration of a locomotive. Or I'm gonna get that phone call from a railroad across the country that says, hey, we broke this part, can you fix it for us pronto? And I'll be like, yeah, sure, no problem. Which they really appreciate, and it's nice to help people.
I'd say very much so. Right now is a prime example where the railroad's in quite the transition period. There's a lot of quote-unquote older heads that have been here for 30 or 40 or more years that are getting towards retirement age. As they move on to a well-deserved retirement, it's up to us younger folks to kind of carry the torch and need to pass along what we know so that it can continue going, you know, 30, 50 or more years into the future.
I picture myself in the future retiring from the Strasbourg Railroad. I mean, like, once you get a job that you love, stick with it. But at the same time, I've progressed since I started working here from, you know, working in the shop as a machinist to working with the little engine. I'm on the locomotive now. I'm a locomotive engineer. You know, I've done all sorts of different things. So going forward, I would hope to, at some point, maybe graduate into a supervisory role, perhaps work some more with the boiler design and whatnot. But you know, just keep learning about this particular company because we have so many different things to learn. It's overwhelming really because it's welding, carpentry, machining, freight, railroading, track work, building maintenance, locomotive maintenance. I'm never going to be done learning at this job. So, but I just want to keep getting as much knowledge as I can, especially from the guys who are getting ready to retire, because they are a wealth of knowledge and all I can hope to do is retain some of that.
Wow, Andrea is the first female machinist at the Strasbourg Railroad. Keep moving forward, Andrea. Next, we travel to SteelFab Enterprises to meet up with Dylan.
Hi, my name's Dylan Durbro. I'm a steel worker and I work at SteelFab Enterprises. Right now, I'm the parts guy. So people have, like the workers have beams on their line and I am to get the parts ready for them so that they don't have to go look for them. I bring them to them, I put them on a skid, and if the skid gets full, I can take the skid to them with a crane, and then I move on to the next beam and keep grabbing parts.
Right now, Dylan's about 5 weeks in, so he's been in Plant 1, which is our miscellaneous shop for the most part. He's done parts, he's done some fitting over there. We also have him in Plant 2 right now, taking the parts that he made and sorting them out and giving them to the fitters to fit to the steel. Then the welders weld them up, goes to the paint bag and goes out the door. He's getting kind of a broad sense of what we do. He'll get some field training as well. We'll put him in the field with our foreman, one of our mentors, to give him an idea of what it's like so he can decide whether this is the path for him. We are a steel fabricator and erector. We fabricate steel for buildings, whether it be structural or miscellaneous steel. Most everybody knows what structural steel is. It's the beams and girders that make the buildings. Miscellaneous steel are the rails and all the ornamental steel that goes into it. We do glass rails, stainless steel rails, bronze. We have the capability to do just about anything customer needs.
Well, I started 11th grade CTC, and I thought I wanted to work with cars, engines, and ended up I didn't want to do that. I wanted that more as a hobby. So then, my senior year, I went to CTC for electromechanical engineering. It was nice. Everything was really cool. It was nice learning that stuff, but it wasn't me. I didn't want to do it. I wanted to weld. I went to CTC for a 10-week welding class, which was free. It was funded by BB&T Bank. And then after the class, I ended up coming here.
In the next 2 years in Pennsylvania, there's going to be a shortage of 10,000 iron workers just in Pennsylvania. Recognizing that, we decided to start developing an apprenticeship program. Dylan's part of that. We're looking for young individuals with some training. If they're willing to work hard, show up every day, and have a good attitude, we can train them. And train them in a skill that's going to give them a very good living, for the rest of their life. Dylan is very highly thought of. Dylan came in with a good attitude and a good skill set. He's worked out very well. Basically, everybody wants him. So, I mean, Plant 1 wants him, Plant 2 wants him, and the field wants him. So that's a really good indication that we have a good individual here.
I try to take in everything that they want to tell me. They want to show me something. If I'm standing there, they'll ask me, I can watch them. Anything that they do, I'm just taking it in so that I can eventually do what they're doing. And it's nice to have people that know what they're doing telling me, this is how you can do this, this is how I do it. Other people tell me different ways, and then I use the best of what I can take in from it.
When I get 30 and 40 year men looking at a new young individual and they're saying, yeah, he's got it, that's special.
Like, now I can think about what I'm actually gonna do, when I'm gonna get an apartment, where I wanna go. Like, I have that money to actually think about getting a new car. It's insane. I just went to Hershey Park. Like, I have the money to do stuff instead of just sitting at home trying to figure out what to do that doesn't cost money.
Extremely important. You hear about our infrastructure over and over and over again. Steel's a primary component of our country. It's what made our country. And it will continue to do that, but we have to have individuals that develop the skill set, develop the safety skills, the welding skills, the erection skills, to be able to put the buildings up, to be able to put the bridges up. It's critical to us continuing to be a world leader. This industry, what we do here, we build things. If you like to build things, this is the place to be, because we take a piece of raw steel and we turn it into something. If that excites you, this is where you want to be. So set your sights high, try a bunch of stuff, but keep this in mind. This is fabrication, it's not manufacturing. You're not running a machine just chunka. Here you have to read a print, figure out what it is, and you get to actually build it.
I want to eventually try and start my own business. After I'm here for a little bit, I want to start school online for business and eventually get whatever I need out of that, have money saved up, and try and start my own business.
That's great that Dylan wants to start his own business. Keep working hard, Dylan. Everyone goes to the dentist, but have you ever wondered who makes the equipment? Our next stop takes us to Dental Ease Integrated Solutions.
I'm Lexi Klein, and I am a machine setup operator for Dental Ease. So day to day, I am a machine operator or setup operator. So I would come in and either set up a machine to run it for the rest of the day or set it up for someone else to run it. We use a CNC mill, and for the most part, it just runs usually about 10 pieces at a time. And you load a rack of parts and you put it in the machine and it'll mill and drill everything for you, and you just take it out and put the next 10 in. And while it's running, you'll check every single piece, make sure they're right, and check for any burr or anything that's left on the part, just make sure they're good. Right at the end of my junior year of high school, my dad had been interested in Thaddeus Stevens as a school for one of my brothers, and so far none of them were interested in it. And I was like, well, I'll go along and look at it, see what I think. And I decided that I loved it. Just seeing them create stuff out of a block of metal that you really look at it and it shouldn't be possible for someone who doesn't know anything about it.
Lexi started here out of Thaddeus. We hired her, I believe it was a month after she graduated. We're part of the board at the school, and we went into each department there, and we got to see how the students were working, and you could tell she was really passionate about what she did, and she wanted to pursue more. She had a desire for it. She seemed very comfortable, relaxed when we interviewed her, and she just had some promise that, that I thought she would be a good fit for our company.
So when I first started here, I think everyone was a little hesitant to welcome a really young person. I think the age force is definitely getting a lot older. So they think they know a lot more, and they do. For sure, I've been learning a lot from everyone here. One of the setup guys I work most closely with has been here, I think, for about 40 years. So he definitely has certain, tricks that he has up his sleeve that it's really good to know different ways to figure things out. But it's been great getting to know him. It's a completely different age of experience, so they're great.
She gets along very well with other employees, yes. And they look at her because she's young and she understands what we're doing. It's pretty impressive to some people. I think they envy what she's done.
I think I really do enjoy the people I work with. Some of them are crazy and fun, and others are a little testy. But it's just always different every day, and I love that we can come in and make these parts. And there's such a good support system from everyone working here. If you have a question, they'll answer it. If they don't know it, they'll ask someone that does. So it's just a great environment. I would say, just look at every option. Don't just pick the first thing that comes your way. I think I would have wanted to be a writer of some sorts, but I ended up finding machining, and I'm so much happier here than I would have been, just sitting somewhere staring at a computer all day or a notebook. I think that would have been much more stressful. And definitely consider all of the trades. A lot of people don't think about welding as a career, or machining, or even carpentry, plumbing. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be done trade-wise that nobody really tends to talk about in schools.
Somebody that can communicate well and, a little bit upbeat, and, it's better to have a happy employee because it's contagious. I mean, it gets to with everybody, and next thing you know, you're working as a team, and it just becomes a better atmosphere.
Ideally, once one of my coworkers retires, I'll be taking over his job in a couple years, and that's a little bit of a step up. So that would be my next step, and that would be a full setup job. So instead of running and operating, I would just be getting it ready for the next person to run it. And that has more programming, and it takes a little bit more thinking than just pressing go and saying it's good. So that would probably be the next step, and eventually, I guess if I wanted to, you could try for like a supervisor, but I don't know if I'm really cut out for that yet.
I think Lexi would make a great supervisor, and I'm really glad that she has a plan for advancement. Our last stop takes us to Advanced Food Products in New Holland. I bet you've had one of their tasty foods and didn't even know it was manufactured right here in Lancaster County.
I'm Dylan Evandando. I'm an industrial technician at Advanced Food Products in New Holland, PA. Every day at work, I fix and troubleshoot the multiple machines we have here while working on electrical panels, PLCs. I change motors, work on drives. I went to Lancaster County Career Technology Center for electromechanical engineering, and I did a year of that working in here and also in school at the same time on an internship. And basically the Career Center taught me the most basic parts of this job and what we have to do to be in the industrial field.
We went down to CTC 2 years ago looking for some sort of intern, somebody that we could train and work with and see if he's a good fit for our company. So we went down to CTC, we interviewed, I believe it was 7 candidates. From the 7, Dylan was the most promising based on his work ethic, maybe not so much experience, but just his personality. He was a good fit for working with all of us.
The career really took me by my eye because I was always into working with my hands and moving around and being active. And while looking for careers and things to do and study, I wanted to go towards working hands-on, and I like the satisfaction of fixing things and being active, moving around as much as I can. Here at AFP, everybody's real easygoing. They will teach you pretty much whatever you want to know. So if I wanted to learn something, I could ask anybody and they'll help me learn it. They'll help me show me the exact way how to do it, show me good ways to do it. It's kind of hard going in knowing everybody else knows the job they're doing and I'm just brand new, but if you find a good company and easygoing people, it's real easy.
Everybody pretty much took Dylan under their wing because they wanted to make sure he succeeded in some sort of tasks. They wanted to make sure that he was doing okay. I think ultimately Dylan was treated very well here. Everybody spent a lot of time attempting to show him things and make sure that he works safely. That's the main thing in a plant such as this, is to make sure that you're working safely.
Probably my favorite part working here is I know I can come in and work with great people and they treat you like family here. I know that whatever I desire to do, they'll help me do it and give me the training I need for whatever I would like to learn. And they're real easygoing with me and they treat me not as I'm just their employee, as like I actually belong here. I feel really accomplished leaving here every day because I like knowing the fact that I'm here to help the plant. I'm here to work with everybody and help them on what they need and help the plant earn more money, help production rates go up. And I'm satisfied knowing that I like to learn what I'm doing and I'm also learning while I'm working at the same time. Since I have a full-time job and I'm making really good money, it allows me, I have my own car that I just bought, put a down payment on, have my own apartment, I pay my own bills every month. I don't have to really worry, I have extra money on the side no matter what, and if I need the overtime, they're always willing to give it to me. It's a lot different than having your other friend groups, going to college and being in debt and worrying, stressing, but I went right out of high school. I'm making really good money. I can pretty much do what I want. I know I'm gonna have a good career most of the rest of my life.
I believe in the current economic conditions that it's critical that we continue to find people such as Dylan, people that want to show up and want to work and want to learn and grow. At this point, I believe that we're having issues as an economy as a whole in finding people that want to go into the trades. Without continued people going into trades, we're not going to have manufacturing. We're not going to have the people to do the actual work. In the mechanical field here at AFP, so somebody that's coming in as a technician, we would look for somebody that is on time, knows how to manage their time efficiently, wants to learn and wants to be here. That's the main thing, is wants to show up to work. If you can show up to work and you can learn, you're going to succeed no matter what job you do.
I have a pretty strong feeling that my future here will I will keep rising up in what I'm doing. I will keep learning new things, new positions. I strive to be the best I can while I'm here, so I like to show others that I'm ready to move up whenever. I'm ready to take any position that would help me in any way, and hopefully I will learn pretty much everything in the plant, and I could be either a supervisor, engineer, something that will just keep improving me, keep making more money, and increasing my knowledge every day.
It's great that Dylan was able to get a job right out of high school because of his internship through CTC. I hope you've seen there's no right or wrong way to choose a career. First, consider your interests, talents, and passions. Then research professions to find a match. One of the most important things you can do is you can approach any new challenge with the right attitude and be open to learning, as these employees have demonstrated. The right career is waiting for you, so go ahead, start planning.